But the weekend was really interesting because we got word that Team USA's women's basketball team was not going to have Caitlin Clark on it. And we've discussed this now throughout the show. Matt Latovsky weighing in, and we talked about it in our headlines as well. Now let's check in with one of our hosts here at SportsGrid, Kevin Walsh, who talked about the idea that Caitlin Clark is actually snubbed by being left off the team.
They took Diana Taurasi. I get it. DT's a legend of the game. I understand that. But by bringing Diana Taurasi, you now cannot say they've brought the 12 best players. You can't make that argument. So if it is important to bring Taurasi for the legacy so she can be in her 6th Olympics, it is then important, more important, honestly, to bring Caitlin Clark. Now, she may end up on this roster if Chelsea Gray is not healthy enough coming off a torn ACL anyway. But that should not be what they are waiting on. Because what you do, by the way, with this, whether you like it or not, is feed into the idea that the rest of this group, the rest of the league, does not like her.
I think Kevin is on. I also think that this story is not over. Something still tells me they're going to find a way to make this right. Look, I'm not rooting for an injury or any kind. I'm just saying before they play in the Olympics, I wouldn't be surprised to see Caitlin Clark's name added to it, given all the blowback there has been from this. Now, going into baseball's regular season, the Atlanta Braves were right with the Los Angeles Dodgers as favored to win the National League. In fact, they were favored to win the division as well. Right now, they're favored to make the postseason, but not favored to win that division. It's been a tough go for the Atlanta Braves. Offensively, they have not gotten it going. And, of course, Ronald Acuna Jr. is out for the season. We check in with Christian DeBlock from our social media team to find out what the Braves need to do to get back to where they've been.
The Atlanta Braves, who have lost 7 of their last 12 games, are going to be without Spencer Strider and Ronald Acuna Jr. for the rest of the season. The starting rotation should be fine. They have Max Fried, a rejuvenated Chris Sale, and Charlie Morton. That's a really solid top 3. The offense, not so much. The Braves ranked 12th in runs per game this season, and over their last 12, they're only averaging 3.58 runs per game. If they want to compete with the Phillies or the Dodgers come playoff time, they absolutely need an impact bat. 3 names to watch out for ahead of the deadline: Randy Arozarena, Luis Robert, and Jazz Chisholm Jr. Back to you, Craig.
Don't think the Marlins are going to trade Jazz Chisholm Jr. to the Atlanta Braves, Sam, right? I don't think that's going to happen. All right, but listen, but we appreciate Christian throwing the names out there. I personally don't see that happening. All right, now let's get back to some more baseball in London. In case you missed it, 2 very exciting games between the Philadelphia Phillies and New York Mets. In fact, the Mets scored 3 runs on the vaunted Phillies bullpen to end up getting the win. Philly's been fantastic in that spot, the 8th, the 9th, and even the 7th, but Alvarado blew it yesterday, and Carlos Mendoza, the manager of the Mets, talked about the incredible comeback.
Exciting. Obviously we came out on the good side of things, right? But credit to the guys that continue to battle it back, got down early in the game, and then good at-bats there in the 6th, I think. But then in the 9th inning, against a pretty good closer on Alvarado, Taylor leading off the inning, walks out a walk. Then McNeil gets it going with a single up the middle. Really another good at bat against the lefty today. And setting up the table. But overall, good at bats. And then piecing it together. Rick Garrett gets one out there, gets in trouble, and then Drew Smith, comes in and continues to make pitches. And then that last play of the game for Torrens. What a great play. The instincts not to only go get the baseball, but having the ability to come back, touch the play, and then execute the throw. Unbelievable play. And, I'm glad we got the win there.
Yeah, baseball is growing, and fair to say, another huge success in London for that series.